I'm going to talk about Trafiklab and what we learned, what it is, and what we learned the last 2 years. I'm from Samtrafiken. That's a company that is owned by the public transport sector in Sweden. So we have 36 different owners. That's everything from SJ, SL, Veolia, Svebus. So we actually are the sector of the public transport. We are 33 persons employed. We're sitting over here. Our turnover was 77 million last year, and we're growing. I think it's 100 is the forecast this year. Our main business is to be able to sell tickets combined. If you want to go by bus, or train, by boat, you can buy them on one ticket, and that's our main business. That also means that we are sitting on quite a lot of data for the public transport. I'm working as technical project manager, and also is responsible for the technical part of Trafiklab. And I worked around 1.5 years, so I started a little bit after Trafiklab was launched. So why did Samtrafiken started with Trafiklab? It's not only Samtrafiken, also SL and Victoria Institute was some of the main partners. And the reason was that wanted to get out the information to all the people, all the travelers, and always have this complaining, you don't give enough information, and maybe the information is there, but it's not the right way, and you can't develop every single way that the customers wants to do it. And it's already happened. The biggest applications for travel planning in Stockholm is Resa Stockholm and Stockholm Traveling. These two applications started before Trafiklab, and they started by scraping the websites, and then they actually did get access to the APIs behind. It's kind of quite similar story like Sveriges Radio, with people starting, they want the data. So they started with a project with Trafiklab, and this is the three main keywords that was driven the project. First is you want to dialogue with the developers. If you know who they are, and you can keep up the dialogue, you can ask them what they want, you can also ask them to not do certain things. For example, maybe they can turn off the autocomplete during heavy snowstorms. Heavy snowstorms is always the hardest for the APIs when you come to travel planning, because everyone wants to know the real time and wants to plan a new journey, because the normal habits doesn't fit, I don't know. The other was to lower the threshold, that it must be easier to start getting started with getting the access, and also from the company that they don't want the lawyers and the administration of actually giving out keys and accessing. This was quite a lot of work before, so I just want that to work. And also to have this showroom where a developer can show what they are doing, so everyone is seeing what's happening. This is also for the companies that having the APIs, because there's always people that want to open up and do understand all what you can get from that, and there are also the old thinking of no, keep our data, it's ours, we can't take responsibility what's happening. So this is a showroom to also convince all the rest of the companies. So it ended up with a website, a community where you can log in. You have self-service for keys. You have documentation and what you need. The other part of Trafiklab is actually the technical behind it. That we have the old APIs that are made for internal usage, and we want to expose them to the public. So we do have a proxy in behind. There we can do all kind of transformations. We do from SOAP to REST. We do XML to JSON, just to offer more what the developers been asking for. There's also the key handling with the quotas, there's cache, and we can also make some different error messages because of the old APIs. Maybe just have a blank response if you have some parameters wrong. And we can hide parts of the responses as well. And after just a few months, we did get quite a lot of awards, prizes, and people saying, wow, that's great, you're bringing up the data for the public transport. We did get a lot of awards, and we were asking if anyone actually understood what we were doing. I was by myself at this event, and I don't know, there wasn't many people that actually realized what we were doing. This was quite a lot of what I was done before I came into the project, and I was just asked to be responsible for the technical parts. The project is quite done. It's just going to be up and running, and maybe you can use a few hours each week to write some blog post or something like that. I've been working a lot more with this than I was supposed to do. I've been spending quite a lot because there's been quite a lot of problems to solve. I'm thinking of just talk about some of few of them that you see what kind of problems we're running into. Maybe someone else can learn. First of all, we had the proxy is handled in Bangalore, and it's in the Amazon cloud, and it's actually the services on Ireland, but all change requests and everything is made to India. And we have a dialogue, but what's actually happened is the IPA owners, for example, SL have their IPA, and they think it's a real long communication between India and their own APIs, and also they have their other companies that are actually hosting their APIs. So between the people working with the APIs and the proxy, it's been a really long way for communication and fixing things. So this has been a problem, and we've been trying with all kind of things. First communication was just with mail requests. It didn't work. We did get the issue tracking system. It was quite a young company evolving, so they learned, we learned about that. Other problems that we had also in the beginning with SL, they had their old APIs with servers behind load balancer, and then we suddenly have a cloud here, and it's not made for cloud at all. And when you get one request through the API, it goes to one server, and the next might go to another server. You don't know about that. With the load balancer, before you know if it was the same IP, it could be the same. Now we have a proxy that could be more than one gateway. So they actually had to change their backend to handle sessions combined. They also wanted to use their own IPs through the proxy, and again we have this corporate problem with they have the old firewall, they have really strict rules. You only open up access to a certain IP, and when they go to different IPs every time, they couldn't really solve this either, because changing these strict rules for SL is nothing you do in 1 year. We also have another issue, but it's on Ireland. First, we had with the APIs directly, you have quite a lot quick responses, but now every response have to go to Ireland and back, and especially for bigger data, it takes a while. And it's something you need to take into consideration, how quick you need your APIs to be. It's depending on what you do. I mean, if you're sending SMS or something, it doesn't matter if it takes an extra second, because it will take quite long. But if you have something that people actually interact with, like travel planning, the person is standing there and waiting for it. And it can't take too long. Some of what we made here to make it a little bit better is to allow persistent connections, for example. So because it's HTTPS, so the handshake is saved. It doesn't take too long. But most of those are we've been able to handle. But a big learning from this project is that we can do a lot in the proxy and to fix old things from old APIs. And we can be much quicker to do it there than doing it in the back end. The problem is that it's really, really hard to maintain. If we do quick fix in the proxy and eventually they will fix it in the back end, that means that you must make sure that we can remove that quick fix the same moment as we change it in the back end. And you have the problem when testing and when to switch and when to test it. Also, that the things that you're doing in the proxy is kind of you can't switch proxy, because then you just lose all the effort you've been putting into fixing and making those proper APIs. So what we're doing now is when they're developing new APIs, do as little as possible in the proxy, because it's worth it doing back. It's not worth doing anything up there, because it will be a problem. Talk about what we really been succeeding with is the communication with the developers. We have been hosting Travel Hack now. It was during this weekend. We had 21 teams. That was the final. We had over 50 people sending in different IDs, really, really high quality. And now it's starting to evolve that people really like to do better products for with the public transport, and I think that everyone in the sector realize that this is the way to go. So we're sending the winning team are going to disrupt in San Francisco, and that's what they made was an application for what do you call it, with Asperger's, really have problems with remembering where to go, especially that it works when everything is perfect, but when you have the delays that you can have someone else actually calling them and giving them advice. Actually not trying to solve all of it with the technology, it's just give alarm to a real person. This means that persons who can't use the public transport today can do it with help from an app. So today we have around 1,500 developers registered, and this is in 1.5 years. So this is probably more than was expected. So it's going well. It's around 600 projects, and it's everything from your screen next to your door telling you when the bus is going, to travel planners. All we have mashups with musics and everything, and we don't know, see where we will go next. Yes, that was what I have. Do you have any questions? Yes.
The issue you had with India, I didn't understand. They were the support?
It's quite a lot of communication, both understanding what you want. You really need to specify what you want to do. They're doing exactly what you're saying them to do. We told them to please block the HTTP access for us from the website, because we just want to use the HTTPS. They blocked it. They blocked their own internal request as well, taking down the service. One problem. Other things is, for example, parameters that's in the API is in Swedish. So they do not have the understanding of what they are meaning. That means it's much easier to get in bugs. You can't even go for Google Translate because there are no dots on the names. So they have no idea what they are working on. That was also a problem. I'll say thank you.